to the Cherub barn. This barn was taken down on Miller Place Road and reconstructed over here behind the Miller house to make a museum. And we collect tools from people that have farms around Miller Place and Mount Sinai. This barn is 1890 and it has hand-hewed beams. If you look closely up here, you can see the axe marks from the beams being debarked and smoothed out. This is a picture of what the barn used to look like on Miller Place Road, and a picture of us taking it down, putting it on trailers and carting it over here and putting it back together. It has a new roof, and so new floorboards. Well, otherwise the beams of the barn are original 1890. The first piece of equipment I'm going to talk about is my great-grandmother's washing machine. This is called a rocker washer. You'd have to go in the house, get some hot water off the wood stove, put some clothes in here, come out, put the hot water in there. We use lye for soap, which was made from ashes. And I asked the children, how long does it take Ma's washing machine to do a load of clothes? And in about a half an hour. So you'd have to stand there for a half an hour and rock this machine back and forth. Now you take the clothes out and you put them in a clothes wringer. This is a rubber clothes wringer, and it would squeeze the water out of the clothes, and you'd bring it out, and there's a clothesline out there in between the trees, and you'd hang the clothes out to dry. That was the way we did our clothes. Now, back in those times, all the equipment was hand equipment. There was no electricity. So this is a breastplate drill. If you wanted to drill a hole through a piece of wood, you would use this breastplate drill with a bit of different sizes. We have a set of bits on the wall over here. You'd put the size bit that you wanted to use in there. If you wanted to saw a board in half, you'd have to saw it by hand. This is a woodworker's vise, and the woodworker would put the wood in the vise. He'd have to actually saw the board off like that. This is a blacksmith's vise. It's a steel vise. Blacksmith would use this vise to bend steel to different things. He could make horseshoes. He would put the horseshoe in the vise, clamp it up. It would be red hot as it came out of the forge. And he had an anvil. This is an anvil, and he would use the anvil to shape the horseshoes. If you scan over there on that wall, you see 2 or 3 horseshoes. There's a big horseshoe that's from workhorse, and a small horseshoe from your pleasure horse. And they were made by the blacksmith. Back here we have a grindstone. One of the tools on the farm. You sharpen your pocket knife. Every farmer had a pocket knife. Here's mine. And you'd open it up and you pedal this stone like so. You get it going and you put your knife on there and you sharpen it. And does a nice job of getting your knife good and sharp. But that's not the biggest blade. This blade is a side. And we used to have to sharpen a side blade. You might have 4 or 5 side blades. You keep them sharp. Now that's a size blade. On a rainy day, you would come in here and get this grindstone going, and you would sharpen the side blade. The side blades were used to cut hay, oats, wheat, and grains. We'll talk a little more about size a little later. Back here, we have a shaving horse. Shaving horse is a glorified vise. It holds a piece of wood. This is a barrel stave. We might want to shape the barrel stave. You push on this foot pedal, it locks the board into place. So I can take this. This is a draw knife. Take the draw knife and whittle this board down. Now if you look at this, it's curved, and if you want to make a barrel like that barrel over there, you would put like 60 of these barrel hoops together and put a wire on a steel band around them and form a barrel. They used to use barrels a lot for flour and wheat and different grains. This old thing right here is a cider press. One of the things we did was line the cider press with netting, like mosquito netting, and we'd put crushed apples in. The apples, this is a wine grinder that would grind up grapes. We had an apple grinder that would grind the apples up, put them in here, and then this is a screw this down, and it would squeeze the juice out. Over here there's a lip, and the juice would come out. You'd put a crock down there with a cheesecloth across it to strain the juice, and that's the way you made apple cider. The next thing we're going to talk about is a cobbler. This is a cobbler bench, and a cobbler is a shoemaker. And we have a couple of different tools that the shoemaker would use, and he put